Hello everyone, this is Michael Cheek again with MikesGuitarLessons.com. We're going to start, this is the second video for Clocks by Coldplay. We're going to learn the verse chord progression here for the song, and I'm probably just going to make this all we learn in this video because the chords are kind of different here, so it's not just the ordinary open position chords that I might be able to spout off really quickly. Well, I'll have to explain them. So you're going to learn the verse chords in this section. The next video, the third video, will be the bridge chords, and I might throw in the last riff in that one, or I might make one more video. So that's what you've got to learn. Let's go ahead and get started on these chords. Now the chords that we're going to be using are D sharp with a G pedal, A sharp minor, and F minor. Okay? And there's a certain rhythm that goes with these too, but let me go ahead and show you how to use these chords. Now we could do a regular D sharp just as a bar chord or whatever, but we're playing it way up here because we need that G pedal. Now there are other ways to play it, but I'm going to use this because I like the way it sounds. And let's go ahead and learn this one, okay? Now normally you would play your D sharp right here, but what we're going to do is play these three notes with our first finger. So your first finger is going to play the 8th fret on the B, the G, and the D string. Okay, so you lay your first finger across the 8th fret on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th string from the bottom. Okay, the B, the G, and the D. Your third finger is going to skip over all those. Make sure you don't mute any of those strings, and reach over to the A string and the 10th fret, playing that note. Okay, so this chord is a 4-note chord, and it's going to sound like this. Okay? Okay, that's what that D sharp, the G pedal, sounds like. And what I mean by G pedal is just it's got a G on bottom instead of a D on bottom as your lowest note. Okay, so that's our first chord. Our next chord is an A sharp minor. Okay, we're going to play that this way as a bar chord. Now, if you have trouble with any of these chords, you can just pick some of the notes out of them and play those without barring, and make your life a little easier if you're having a lot of trouble. If you're not, though, then go ahead and play it like this. What we're going to do with this chord is you're going to bar in the 6th fret all the way across. Okay, so take your first finger, lay it across the 6th fret, and see if you can get all of those strings to ring. Okay, now that's not an A sharp minor yet, but once you've got all the notes playing, now let's go ahead and take your third finger. Keep your first finger where it's at, but take your third finger and put it on the 8th fret of the A string. Okay, and take your pinky and put it on the 8th fret of the D string. Okay, so what we've got going here, starting at this thickest one, is 6th fret, 8th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, 6th, and 6th. Okay, that's your A sharp minor. You're actually going to stay on that chord twice as long as the other two. Okay, and now we go to our last chord. It actually looks exactly like this A sharp minor, except everything stays the same, except you slide it down until your first finger's in the 1st fret and your pinky and your third finger's in the 3rd fret. But they stay on the same strings. So that makes an easy chord change. Okay, so what we're going to do, just to highlight it again, you're going to bar on the 1st fret all the way across. Your third finger is going to go in the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, and your pinky is going to go in the 3rd fret of the D string. Okay, so it's 1st fret, 3rd, 3rd, 1st, 1st, 1st. All right, now that's your F sharp. That's your F minor. Now we've got the chords out of the way. Now we need to worry. This is for the verse, so we're going to use that strumming pattern. That is basically just a bunch of downstrokes in a straightforward timing pattern, but we're accenting some of the strums, and that just means hit it a little harder so that chord comes out a little more. For instance, let's go to your first chord here. Hold down that D sharp with the G pedal. Okay. Now, just a quick note. One way I keep from playing this skinny E string here, because we don't want that one to play, so I just put my third finger on it and I strum using my fingers to go up and down. I don't move my wrist a whole lot. Okay. All right. Now, what you're going to do when you strum this chord is going to be, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's the strumming pattern you're going to use for every chord. Okay. So just count it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you go to 3 twice, and then you go to 2 once, and it's when you say the number 1 each time, you're gonna accent that, meaning hit it a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to our next chord, A sharp minor. Like I told you before, this chord you're going to play 2 times in a row. So you're going to use the same strumming pattern, but once you've gone through it once, then go through it again. And this time we're strumming all the way through every string, so it's 6 notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay? And then we're going to our F minor. Same strumming pattern, but this one you only do 1 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay? Sometimes you can even accentuate that accent by only going all the way through the chord on the accented strum, and then on the others, maybe hit the bottom 4 strings. Kind of like. Okay? And that's your strumming pattern. So going all the way through that, it's going to sound like this. Okay? Those chords actually work with the intro too. So if you have somebody else that you can have play the riff part, you can play those chords along with it while the intro is going on. And then carry it on through as he starts singing. Now, this is going to be the end of this video, but in the next one we're going to do the bridge chord progression, and then we've got one more riff to learn.